All right, okay. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. This is That Film Channel. I'm your host, Matthew Walters, and today I am drinking 19 Crimes, which is probably, if I can get in focus, is probably my favorite wine. I really recommend it, even if you're not a massive wine drinker like myself. I don't normally drink wine, but I'm absolutely in love with this. And anyway, sponsorship over. So it is 20 to 2 in the morning, and I am drinking red wine. But the reason I'm recording this video is because tonight I was fortunate enough to catch an early screening of Edgar Wright's Last Night in Soho. I'm so fortunate to the Tyneside for allowing me to watch this at the BFI Film Festival. It was really something special, and I knew I had to talk about it as soon as I got back. Personally, I love everything Edgar Wright has ever done. I don't think he's made a bad film or a bad show. I love Spaced. I love the Cornetto trilogy, Baby Driver, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Everything he's ever made is phenomenal. Last Night in Soho stands out from the rest of Edgar Wright's filmography as it's a psychological thriller, something which he has never done before, although it does contain a lot of the classic Edgar Wright trademarks. So today I just wanted to give my first impressions before the wider release in the UK and other countries, and just like the promo before the film, as Edgar Wright asks, I'm not going to spoil the film in any way. I just wanted to quickly go over some of the highlights from my experience. First off, I feel like I should talk about the casting of the film. Thomasin McKenzie, Anya Taylor-Joy, Matt Smith, and Terence Stamp are all incredible and fit perfectly within the movie. I couldn't think of anyone else better to play each of their roles. You know, one thing I wanted to talk about really quickly was Terence Stamp in particular, only because of my own personal experience with him. Because when I was a child, I used to act. I was a supporting artist or an extra in some films and television. I used to go to a drama club, and this meant I was fortunate enough to, bag some roles within certain productions. And one of these films was called Song for Marion, which stars Terence Stamp himself, and I was in the same scene. And I've never actually watched the film myself, but in the scene I was holding some chips from the chippy, and I was running, and the idea is I just pretty much run past Terence Stamp in the scene. I don't know what the scene actually is. It's probably just one shot of the film. It's just something I've never actually bothered to check out myself. But in one of the shots, I actually ran into Terence Stamp, like physically, like by accident, because one of the children behind me knocked me, and I ended up like rolling into him, and I kind of feel bad about that. But at the time, I didn't really know who Terence Stamp was. I was pretty young, so it was kind of weird because when I was watching the film, I didn't realize he was in it. So I saw him, and I was just kind of like, "Oh shit, I remember you." Even though this prolific actor would never have given a second, third, or fourth thought to some child on a film set. I don't even know if we exchanged any words. It's been that long, but for me at least, it was certainly a character building experience. I'll put it that way. Also, I've never drank on any of my videos, so I feel like this is gonna turn out horribly. But we'll see. The second thing I thought was quite notable about the film was the use of colour, particularly the use of red, which is so intertwined within the film. I mean, it is beautiful. It's gorgeous to look at, and it signifies so much within the film without giving anything away. Sort of lust, envy, anger. It is so littered throughout the film. It's fucking gorgeous, man. As I said before, this is definitely an Edgar Wright film. The style is very much him, but it's also so different. It's easily Edgar Wright's most cinematic film, I feel, and I've come off fresh of watching it, so I want to say it's my favorite Edgar Wright film, but I don't know how it is on a second viewing, so I'll definitely have to give it another shot before I can definitively say. But from that first impression, it was so incredibly strong that I just can't, get out of my head. It was definitely, I feel like it was his most mature film so far. There were so many impressive, incredible technical achievements within the film. So many shots that I was blown away by, just by their beauty or by their technicality. How it was done, I don't know, but it's just worth watching for the visual standpoint. A brief synopsis of the film would be that a woman who's gone to university for fashion ends up experiencing the past in the 60s, a place which she almost longs for and gets to experience through the eyes of someone else before realizing that it's not all it's cracked up to be. And that's all I'm going to say about it, because it's really a film that you should go in blind. Don't read about it, don't look at any spoilers, just go in head first and you will have the best possible experience. I can guarantee it. I only went into this film having seen, some of the trailers and promotional footage, and I didn't quite expect how psychological it would be. And I'm an absolute sucker for psychological movies, films that get inside your head and get you thinking, and this really did. And it has a lot of twists and turns and things that are quite unexpected, but once it comes across, you're like, it makes sense, and you sort of like, fuck, it fucking blows you away, man. I really think everybody should go see it at least once. And it does have a very clear message about sort of being stuck in the past, but I'm not going to go sort of too in depth about that. Maybe I'll do another video where I sort of dive into it a bit more once I can think about it critically and I'm not, drinking. But man, sometimes you don't need to dissect a film. You just gotta experience a film, and that's really what it's about. And what an experience it was. I don't know. Personally, I loved it. I would have to say before this, my favourite Edgar Wright film was Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, because it's one of those films where each time I watch it, I find something new, and I find something new to laugh at, and I don't know how it's going to be with this one. I don't know if on a second watching I'm going to be like, oh well, I know what's going to happen. So it's I don't know how it will change my experience, and maybe I'll go in further depth once I get another viewing. But it's certainly something that isn't to be missed this year. Absolutely not. Edgar Wright, you've done a bang up job. I went in with the lowest expectations that I could, because I love everything the man's done. So when it came to something like this that was so, I feel fresh and new for his usual style of filmmaking, which, there's a lot of comedy and a lot of quick pacing, and it's such a refreshing experience for Edgar Wright fans, man. Like, it's I don't know how many times I can say it's worth the watch, and I've probably sound like a rambling idiot because I haven't scripted any of this, but go watch it. Just watch it and form your own opinion, because I'd love to talk to someone about it. Now, Last Night in Soho is released on the 29th of October, so book your tickets. Book your tickets now. And with that, I'm your host, Matthew Walters. Thank you for watching, and good night.